Well, welcome back to the Central Coast Regional Sporting and Recreation Centre here in Tuggerah. A beautiful day is unfolding on the drive up. There was plenty of fog, and that is always a good indication of a nice sunny day to follow. A couple of fantastic matches to open the morning's play, but now we move on to the 18s girls division. It will be in the green strip, the Sydney Scorpions taking on the Northern Eagles. James Preston with you in commentary alongside David for special comments. A very good morning to you, David.
Yeah, thank you, James. It's been a good morning so far, beautiful weather. And once again, like you said, this is the last round of the under-18s girls, and then we get into the crunch time of the tournament.
Of course, finals to come later today, so that should be extremely interesting stuff. And the Scorpions have been one of the strongest sides across most of the divisions at this tournament. That certainly includes the 18 girls here, as the ACT Raiders go on the attack here. Shifting away here through Hunter. Hunter links up, back on the inside to her. Good hands as well shown from Tilly Hunter, the Itari junior. Now look to reset things back toward the middle here before a final play. However, it won't arrive though for the Scorpions. They'll now get a chance to push their way upfield. And we'll see if it's anything like the 14 boys, who certainly knew how to get quite a roll on. And you can see straight away, yes, nice and direct. And getting those excellent strike dumps as well, which just heaps the pressure on further and further. And has them backpedaling. The quick hands come away, spinning and aiming for the corner. Oh, that is absolute clockwork. Lauren McCurley has made the ACT Raiders feel a little bit curly off the back of that.
That's a very dominant set there by the Sydney Scorpions. Showed their hands straight away. They'll go to go direct and they'll go to go hard. Nice 4-on-3 setup and just dished it through the hands off to the winger and in the corner. The Eagles have got to stop that. They're all got to shut down at once. They're not got to go in stages.
Yeah, ominous signs so far from the Scorpions. Mentioned they've been red hot in just about every division. Certainly the 18s girls is no different. And yes, the jumper does come off for David here, and I can tell you what, confirmed, it is actually getting quite warm out here in Tuggerah as well. So as the day unfolds, we could see fatigue become perhaps more of an issue than might have otherwise been. We'll do a little weather update for you soon as well.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit hotter. I do have to say it was the coldest morning I've felt this year, I reckon, this morning. There was a cold breeze. But yeah, now the sun's out, jumpers are off, and it's game time.
Mate, I don't know where you're living, but I was in a mankini to start the day. It was nice and warm for me.
That's a little bit too much information for me, I think.
Well, look, tell you what, the actual temperature in the air isn't particularly high, but just with that sun beaming down at the moment, it's only about 18 degrees, but geez, I'll tell you what, it feels a good 30 at the moment.
It does. That sun's got us, and I think we're a little bit protected here at the moment from the wind.
Just a bit of wind floating around too, which has made things quite interesting for those long cutout passes as the Scorpions go on the attack once more. Ball just behind, did well to reel it back in though, but the touch came late. Good defence from the Northern Eagles. They'll need more of that because the Scorpions will be asking plenty of questions. Right to left passing here. Shifted on now. And they'll look to come back to the open side. I don't think there's a touch in there either, and McCurley has gone back to back.
Yeah, I thought the Eagles had them there, but no, it was a missed touch and just a nice little outline by the winger as well. Probably got the defensive winger caught out of position. And once again, yes, a double, an early double for the Scorps.
Yeah, it seems to be a common theme for the Scorpions sides. Their wingers picking up plenty of tries. Of course, Webster scoring a hat-trick in the last match. The 14s boys, and he can certainly move, but there's plenty of players here for this 18s Scorpions girls side who can certainly put the foot down as well. But the Eagles now with the ball and driving forward. Sadler took the touch. Now wrap around here through Sheether for these Port Macquarie juniors. Sadler fires it away. Off now once more. Unfortunately, we don't have the 2 on our team list. We'll keep pushing on here. Clow unfortunately leaves that behind. So the Scorpions let off the hook on that occasion.
You can see how well drilled the Scorpions are here. They're not flat rucking off their line. They're nice and deep, running onto the ball, and that gets their momentum going.
They're able to continue it here with the transition too. Look at that. That's beautiful stuff. So coach's box also timing things nicely along with the girls themselves. Still pushing forward here. This will be the last play, but they've travelled pretty much the length of the field throughout. Dummies coming left, right and centre, and just looking for a little rainbow pass over the top. Just didn't arrive into the hands of the supporting players, though.
There's a lot of talk here in the Sydney Scorpions box. We've got some very good coaches. We've got Semi Rogers, Australian winger here in the box, and a very, very smart touch football head. She's working really well with the girls here in the box, and there's a lot of chat. They're very positive.
Of course, she's been a brilliant performer over the last 12 to 18 months, Semi Rogers, appearing for New South Wales, and of course also in the State Cup, where she's played on plenty of tries, that's for sure. I believe Manly. Is that correct?
Yes, Manly. Yeah. Manly girl. Yeah, Manly is a really, really strong club. They have a lot of affiliates. Their local competition's nearly a mini state cup every Friday night. There's over 350 teams, I believe, every Friday night they play in their junior comp. So that's well done to the Manly affiliate. And that's why the Scorpions are so strong. It just filters through to their region.
Yeah, strong contingency of those players here. Plenty of Northern Beaches girls, lots of Manly, a few Hills thrown in. And yeah, you mentioned Semi Rogers there, and she's been a stalwart in those representative sides for so many years now. Alongside the likes of Hannah Dybel, of course, and Mackenzie Davis. So Manly a very strong club, and of course they did indeed win the last edition of the Senior State Cup against West.
Yes, that is true. Unfortunately, a couple of years ago now, and hopefully the rain's at the back end of us and we can get into some more touch football towards the end of the year.
There is still plenty of touch to come, of course, and we look forward to August. Well, that's where the big one is. State of Origin, 19 and 20. Put it in the calendar as the Sydney Scorpions drive forward and deep into enemy territory here. Back off the right foot is Tanae Boney. In fact, should I say Talara Bamblett, Hills District Junior. Here's Burke, straightening things up. And then linking up and finding a passage all the way through. There is Mackenzie Davis.
Wow, that lead runner, that was at speed. I was always taught at a young age you can always run faster forwards than what you can backwards, and I think that was a typical sign of that.
She put the foot down, the gap opened up, and finally we have a scorer that isn't Lauren McCurley. She's been hogging all the tries so far in this match, so Mackenzie Davis, Hills District Junior, adds her name to the list, and the Raiders, in fact, should I say the Northern Eagles, really needing to strike back here, and that is not the way to do it, unfortunately. That's a very basic schoolgirl error, I would have to say.
Yeah, the Eagles have to keep their head high here. It's only early in the game. If they drop their ball and they get down on themselves, the game could really, really get away from them.
Once more, driving forward and keeping good momentum about their play as Emily Smith arrives onto the field and comes up with the ball, fires a beautiful long pass. What a ball that is. And once more, the width is kept. And guess who capitalises on it once more? It's Lauren McCurley.
That's an early trifecta. A three-peat within the first 10 minutes. We could see a record score of tries here in the junior regionals.
Well, you've gone off early here. What are we thinking? Are we lucky number 7? Are we going to do a off the back of it?
I don't know. They're looking sharp, the Scorpions, at the moment. That was a nice fly play off the flow of the set, and it was a nice long ball to set up the winger in the corner.
Yeah, great introduction into the match from Emily Smith. She was the last woman to come onto the field with that transition. She sprinted right for the middle just to connect into that play and made a huge difference, obviously providing a brilliant pass. Ball left behind there. There was just an opportunity for a moment there for Hunter. Still had the Scorpions retreating back to their try line, but unfortunately not able to capitalise. 4 tries to 0 as the Scorpions once more shifted upfield. Really working the momentum quite nicely as Smith dumps it off and then heads to the sideline. Touch coming in, still a couple of plays left though. They'll slow this one down and look to launch one final raid. Here is Halliday. There it comes now, the last play. Halliday once more. The cutout pass. Oh, you're kidding me. McCurley's being kept on that wing once more. And you know what that means, David. That means 4 tries to Lauren McCurley.
I'm on the path here. I reckon there could be a record coming. I'm not sure what the record is for a junior regionals top try scorer in one game, but there's early signs here, James. Early signs. 4 within the first 12 minutes of the game. We've still got at least another 13, 14 minutes to go.
Yep, only halfway through the match, and based on the current rate, she might end up with 8. The last time I've seen 4 tries scored in a match was none other than Logan Flanagan in the State of Origin.
Yes.
Mixed fixture then.
It was good to watch, especially being an assistant coach in that team. She played very well, and she was our player of the tournament for the mixed opens.
I believe 7 tries overall for a tournament, so...
And a runaway.
Consistent as well. Yes, that was a terrific one. Evading the likes of Stevens, who can certainly motor himself, and she showed a clean pair of heels. All pressure coming up here, but just able to get away with it. Once more, though, you can see just how well they work this momentum. Up over halfway, once more comes Bamblett. Mackenzie Davis, the sole try scorer that isn't McCurley so far in this match. Davis off once more. Bamblett has them backpedaling. McCurley was there looming. She wanted number 5. So it will be the Eagles to work it up and away from their own try line here. Just see the struggle with the transition moving through for the Northern Eagles. It's nowhere near as smooth as it is for the Sydney Scorpions, and that is really putting them on the back foot here. Once more they drive forward from Lillian Sadler. This will be the last play, though. You can just see the difference in field position when the changeover occurs. Speaking of which, the Scorpions will now be able to work it away from their own end here. Off it comes. Davis, the big dummy. Touch found, though, from the Northern Eagles. Once more, they'll look to work towards the substitutions area. Those fresh plays on from the box. Bamblett took it, followed by Davis. Now working it away here through Piper Simmons. And that one is not played on the correct mark. So, a chance here for the Northern Eagles. Good field position. They haven't been up this end of the field too much so far. Touched here from Tilly Hunter. Back towards the centre of the field. Shifted off from Sadler. Sadler once more. Oh, nearly a mix-up in the end, but they managed to keep possession here. Taya Hunter works towards that substitutions box. That's a better transition from the Northern Eagles. Can they keep the momentum flowing here, though? Sheether. Port Macquarie Jr. putting on a clean pair of heels, but a great touch in the end. Diving in desperation was Ellie Wilson from the Northern Beaches. Off it goes now from Carrick through the middle. Carrick once more, but a bit of a mix-up there. Sheether just couldn't reel it in. It was a little bit behind her, in fairness. Scorpions once more driving off their own line and picking up plenty of easy metres here. They've got them backpedaling, taking full advantage of it as well. Here is Wilson. The big long pass comes. McCurley looking for another try. She goes in. No touch. You're joking. That's 5 for Lauren McCurley. Well, it's almost every time she touches the ball, she's diving over for a try. And at this rate, I might need to give her a respirator just from sheer exhaustion of having to catch and score all the time. It's all smiles for Lauren McCurley. It's having a little break now. Might be time to let someone else score a try. But here is the Northern Eagles looking to post their first try of the match. Straightening up and playing a little bit more direct in this set, which is good. Bonnie, and now it's off here to Hunter, who's looked the most likely so far for the Eagles. She gets a touch on her, though. We'll have to play that ball. And that's a pretty meek end to the set, unfortunately. They're dying with Wignall. The Scorpions will once more drive upfield. 6 tries to nil, 5 to Lauren McCurley, who's hung out there on that right-hand wing and has finished superbly so far. And that one not played on the mark, so changeover to come. And the Northern Eagles to have a chance to drive for themselves, looking to get their first try of the match. So McCurley is back out there, looking to collect try number 6. Hunter heads towards the sideline to get those fresh legs on. Much better transition here from the Eagles. They can continue the momentum. Nice roll forming. They've still got them backpedaling, however. It hasn't been played on the mark. An absolute coach killer. Shelby Granger will not be happy with that. Conversely, Sammy Rogers, well, she'd be loving life at the moment. And Davis just popped back by the commentary box, and I don't know if you've seen it yourself, but McCurley's gone in again, my friend.
Oh, what's that, 5 now, mate?
That's now 5.
Yeah, I just had to quickly duck out. Work comes first, mate. There's a little incident. I just wanted to make sure everything was okay.
I'll tell you what, there's an incident here, and it's a McCurley-a-thon. Just keeps crossing for tries, and unfortunately, it's almost like watching the Warragamba Dam spill over in the last couple of months. They've got no answer to it, the Northern Eagles.
Yeah, unfortunately, they come from a very big region.
Diving through the gap, and
Davis again on that same play that she scored off early in the game.
Not far off from getting her second try here.
Yeah, the Eagles have got a very big area to cover. They cover from Foster in the north, all the way out to Moree and Narrabri, and then all the way to the border. So it's a big region that they've got to cover.
It's an extensive area. Does, of course, make some of that training quite difficult, working on those combinations, and, of course, solidifying defensive structures too. So
yeah, it's quite interesting to see, like, if you can get a team together in a close area. We've seen a couple of successful Eagles teams in the past, but unfortunately we just can't get that amount of training that the Scorpions, like, they live within an hour of each other, where the Eagles have got to travel at least 3 or 4 hours to just have a training run. So it's a big effort by the Eagles.
And take nothing away from either side, though, because we know this Scorpions team is absolutely red hot. Certainly one of the favourites coming into the tournament. Thought that might have been a pass after a touch. Yes, it was. So the changeover coming here.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some future Australian and New South Wales players in this Scorpions team. There already is a couple in there, and I'm sure that we'll see some of them in the future representing at higher pathways.
Well, here is one of those players that certainly experienced some representative football. With the ball now is Mackenzie Davis. She shifts it off out here to Burke. Come back to this open side on the left. Pretty good position here to launch an attack. They've got numbers both sides. Now opt once more to go to Davis, who just offloads it here. McCurley keeping her width about her. It's worked pretty nicely so far. Oh, a stray foot just coming through, knocking that ball away. However, that wasn't a defender. That is indeed the correct call from the referee.
Yeah, Eagles need to work hard, because you can see the Scorpions pressing hard in defence. They'll try and keep the Eagles in their own half this set of 6.
Touch comes up once more, a little bit slow here from the Eagles, just struggling to get those transitions. On the last few sets, they've improved things, but this is a bit slower, unfortunately, for them. It means that they can't get that momentum build up, and that is now the last play, and starts from their own half. So that's the huge difference we're seeing so far on these two sides. When the ball is being turned over from the Scorpions, it's deep in enemy territory, whereas the Northern Eagles are struggling to get up over the half at the moment.
Yeah, and you can see the depth from where they started, James. There was no depth in their rucking set. They didn't go direct first. They just went straight to the box, and that's too easy for the Scorpions to just keep shutting down.
Here's Wilson, who gets the touch. Off now to Sergi. Shifting away. Unfortunately, that ball goes to ground for Ellie Wilson. A little bit hard and low, unfortunately, on that occasion. Not the best delivery for Ellie.
Yeah, the Scorpions have dropped off a little bit here. They want to get back to completing their sets.
I'll tell you what, this reminds me of the NRL the other week between Cronulla and Manly. We had Talakai just tearing them to shreds on that left-hand side. McCurley's been doing it for the right. Surely that's the way they must continue to go. 5 tries means there's something up there.
Yeah, you've got to look at where your strengths are, and some people's got the red hot hand, and that's who you got to go to. When they've got that hot hand, just keep feeding them the ball.
Let's see if they can find an opportunity out here for McCurley, who once more is happy to just keep as much width in her play as possible. That was very close to forward to Sergi. I'll turn it back on the inside now, just to go for a bit of a settler before launching a new play. They get the wraparound working as well. It's feigned though, and the attempt to connect out here on this left link just shut down nice and quick there from the Northern Eagles. Much better defence on that occasion.
Yeah, much better defence, making them throw that long ball. Eagles shut down both together there and force the mistake, the turnover.
Touch coming away now, and Sadler, Port Macquarie Junior, drives forward. There's quite a few Port Macquarie girls in there. New players coming onto the field, some fresh legs. There's another one of these Port players. That's Dakota Martin, who's caught. Thought that could have potentially been a forceful touch.
No, they played the advantage, so that's well refereed, I do have to say. They did play the advantage. The player got in the ruck.
It's probably the best field position they've had in some time as Dakota Martin takes the tap, works it up. So a full set to play with here. They have them backtracking. No touch coming forth. Taya Hunter was looking to get another set of 6 there.
Yeah, a little bit of push and shove getting into the girls' game. That's getting a little bit physical.
Look, once they go to 18, we've heard it. Teenage girls can be a handful, and it's coming out onto the footy field here.
Yeah.
Here's Hunter off the left foot, trying to link up, and the play was on, just not well communicated though. Unfortunately, Dakota Martin well in front of where she probably should have been.
Yes, yeah, just a little bit of lack of execution there, and as we can see, once again, the well-oiled machine of the Scorpions rucking it off their own line.
It's a sign of fantastic coaching. Of course, we mentioned Sammy Rogers acting as the head coach for this side, and she certainly is a very experienced customer when it comes to touch footy. Last play now here for the Scorpions, driving through the gap. They need to link up though. It's from dummy half. Did all the hard work, just couldn't find the finish though.
Yeah, once again, they complete the set down the other end. The Eagles got to work it off their own line. I'd like to see them go a little bit direct in the middle of the field instead of going straight towards their box. That's a little bit better there.
Give some credit as well there, though, to the Northern Eagles girls. They knew McCurley would have been the option, and they hung on her like absolute glue.
Yeah, I think Coach Shelby Granger, she might be putting 2 defenders on her. She doesn't want to get that record.
Look, it might be a little bit selfish. I'd like to see, a good 8 tries, just so I can say I've called someone who's scored 8 tries in a match. But
exactly right.
Here are the Northern Eagles now on the attack themselves. This is a better set from them. Back towards the open side. We don't have the 19 on the team list. Still playing here, though, for Mia McEwen. And McEwen drives towards the try line, but just caught on the end. Much better set, though, from the Eagles.
Yeah, much better set. They completed the whole set up the other end and finished the ball nicely in the corner. I would have liked to see it in their corner. That way the Scorps didn't come straight to their box. But once again, just completed the set. Play the percentages.
Once more, a great little run here. Darting away and picking up plenty of metres was Piper Simmons. He takes a little rest off the back of it. About 15 on that run. They fanned out nicely to the open right here as Mackenzie Davis goes that way. Switching up the angles. They will now have one final play. Bamblett, flat pass. Good defence though once more. That's Tanae Bonnie who's jammed in.
Yeah, that's been good from the Eagles the last couple of sets. They've defended well. They've completed their sets. Maybe a bit like the ACT Raiders in the last game. It took them 15, 20 minutes to get into the game, and then they finished the game off strong.
Yeah, there's not a great deal of time remaining in this one. Around about 3.5 according to your clocks on Bar TV. Of course, always worth mentioning, that's merely a guide. So it could go off a little earlier, could even go off a little bit later. We do have official timekeepers here at Tuggerah.
I don't know whether we're going to get our tries. I believe they've brought the winger off. Is this our...
No, that's not McCurley.
No.
So coming to the sideline is Hannah Stacey with what looks to be, I'd say, either a calf injury or, potentially ankle even. So the ice is coming out. That's not a good sign. Driving through a gap once more. No touch coming either. So the Sydney Scorpions go in for try number 7.
I think this could be Mackenzie Davis again, I think.
Yeah, it is Mackenzie Davis, I think, in the 3.
Yep.
So her second try for the match. We've only had 2 scorers, believe it or not. 7 tries on the score.
Once again, just that lead runner at pace. She's got a lot of speed, and that's one thing a coach cannot coach in the game is speed.
Very true. Look at the likes of some of the best players in the world. Gillian Hennessy with that great step, but also oodles of pace as well. It was hard to bring down, and of course, as you mentioned before, Dita.
Yes,
Dita, very
Adita,
strong.
young kid that hopefully will feature in my 20 squad later on in the Origin series. Got a lot of speed, and I'd like to let him loose to show everybody how quick he really is.
Tell you what, you might even need to pull up young Reece Webster, give him a few years up. He's got enough pace to match it with him.
There's a possibility. You never know. Young kid might find their way into the squad as a bit of a development player. May not make the final team, but I like to develop players while they're young and give them that taste of experience. And then when they're the right age, then they're ready to fire.
David truly is the Craig Bellamy of the touch football world. Likes to get those pathways working.
I wouldn't go that far, but...
Here are the Scorpions up over halfway. Now surely That was 4, but it's another one that's been let go. It's been a little bit sloppy from the referees in terms of picking those forward passes out of dummy half so far. But we'll stick with it here. This is Emily Smith, who shifts it on. Last play now coming. Smith, at the line. If she could have reeled it in, there was a good opportunity there, but Hunter jamming in just put enough pressure on her.
Yeah, Eagles were very wide, shutting late there. If she held it, she could have dived over for a try.
Not much time remaining at all. We're just over a minute away from what should be full time. The sirens are set to sound quite shortly. That one has been left behind as well from the Northern Eagles, so a dangerous position to turn over the ball. I think there is McCurley out there, and this will be the final play of the match. The Scorpions, can they keep it alive to try and put one final try on the board? Find McCurley, give her the 6th. Here she is, Lauren for the corner. The touch comes. I thought we were in for try number 6. The bench had gone up as well. They were keen for it, but it won't matter too much here. A very dominant display from the Sydney Scorpions. 7 tries to 0 over the Northern Eagles. And of course, another match not too far away. It is constant action today. Next it will be the 16 girls.